Well, hello, Breakfast Club. Although, given the time I'm recording this, yes, this is not my usual breakfast. I was, to reply to JJ from yesterday, I actually thought there was some really good advice in the comments. One being, don't worry about obsessing. If you're obsessing about the grades, well, there are worse things in the world to obsess over than doing well academically. The other thing someone said was, it, sorry, if you can hear that, that's Sheldon, one of the cats. It's probably you want to obviously have good grades, but you want to demonstrate that you're a well-rounded person. If it was a case of sacrificing a couple of percent, um, it might be worth it to keep up other activities. But from what I understand, I think you're okay. I think you're a little bit mad and overworked and so on, but that you're keeping on top of everything, and so it's probably not hugely worth worrying about yet. Now I have a cat clawing at my knee. It made me it actually started me thinking back to when I did my undergrad degree, when I probably was the other way around. I spent too much time doing extracurricular stuff, student politics, debate society, um, beer, and not enough time actually doing academic work. So I was still got a sort of bog standard 2-1, but I was a fairly average student. And I kind of, I don't know, regret sometimes that I didn't work harder then. There's things that I had the opportunity to learn, which now I wish I had done, particularly some of the stuff around political theory, political philosophy. Um, Actually put me in mind, as things often do with a Star Trek episode, Star Trek: The Next Generation, called Tapestry, where long and short of it, Captain Picard is given the opportunity to travel back in time and not do something that he thinks was a terrible mistake. He does it, goes back, avoids the mistake, and his life ends up being terrible and he's very boring and so on. And in the end, he gets to go back and make the same mistake, and everything's fine, and he's still the captain. But I do wonder. I don't know. Would have things been different at all if I hadn't done all of the other stuff I did while I was at university? And some people I wouldn't have met, but much as they're friends, they're people you would have met other people, and they would have been friends, and so on. Yeah, it's a strange one. It's I don't know, I suppose as in many things, it's about finding some sort of balance. And to go back to JJ's question, if you can maintain some sort of balance, even if it's a bit um, highly strung and frenetic, well, for a few years that may not be a bad thing. Um, what I will say, I think a lot of people say this. My 30s so far, getting to halfway through, have been a lot better than my 20s were for the most part. So it may be worth, well, storing up hay now in the form of good grades um, for later on. As I said, as long as you maintain some sort of balance to it. Anyway, bit of a ramble. Last week I talked about podcasts and yeah, a few suggestions and so on. One of the other things I really like is what's generally called old time radio. So classic American radio from the 40s and 50s. So that shows like, and 60s to an extent. So that shows like Dragnet, Gunsmoke, Have Gun Will Travel, The Inner Sanctum, yours truly, Johnny Dollar, Lux Radio Hour, and so on. I'm going to leave, a lot of them were turned into television programs. So I'm going to leave a link in the description below to an episode of Gunsmoke. Uh, and I'll try to find an easy link for an audio, so one of the original radio programs. If people have got half an hour, I would love to know what you think of them because they're something I really enjoy, but it seems to be like a slightly weird thing to enjoy. but the link will be down there. Kate, you're up next.